Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's my great pleasure, and I'm so excited about this wonderful interview that we have today for you. I'm joined by none other than Pilar Sifas. Pilar, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. It really is. It's lovely to have you because I'm very excited to learn about you. I know, obviously, prior to this interview, I've read a little bit about your work and obviously had a look at, the work that you do online and so on. And I was wondering if you might be able to explain to the audience what it is that you do and how you help people. And of course, a little bit about you and your background and how you came to be where you are at the moment.
Yes, of course. So I'm a life coach. I have a diploma in life coaching, and basically I help people to get unstuck. So if you're unstuck, for example, right now I'm very focused on workplace life coaching. So if you're unstuck because you have low self-esteem and you're not even able to raise your hand in a meeting, or you have a bit of imposter syndrome, or procrastination, perfectionism, things like that, that maybe they stop you from getting your goals at work, that's where enters Pilar. And basically that's basically in a nutshell what I do. I just take my clients through a set of questions. Each question is tailor-made for the client. We do activities, exercises. I basically help people think outside the box, and a bit with a different perspective about their goals, their issues, so they can actually move forward.
Right. Okay. Well, that sounds absolutely fantastic. I think that I love the idea of you're talking about stuckness and helping people to get unstuck. I think that is really beautiful because I know that there are so many people who just get sort of paralyzed about where they are, whether it's work or personal life or what have you. And I love also that you're helping people to understand about the concept of imposter syndrome, because so many people have it and they don't realize. I had it when I was doing my MSc, my master's. I had imposter syndrome and I didn't know that there was such a thing. So obviously going back a long time, and I didn't know there was such a thing as imposter syndrome until somehow, I don't know quite why, but it popped up online. I thought, and I was reading about it, I thought, oh my God, it's not just me. We all feel like this, especially, and the higher you go up, like for example, in further education, the higher up the ladder you go up to sort of PhD level and beyond, it gets worse, doesn't it? And it's particularly bad in women, I understand from the research. So I think that is amazing. It's such a valuable thing that you're doing. Now, I know that when I was reading some background bits and pieces from you, you said that you've got some really interesting case studies. Do you have anything that you would be able to share? Because I think case studies are great because they really help our viewers understand, what you can do and the sort of things that you can help people achieve. Would you be able to share some of those?
Yes, I have actually a couple of good examples. One is on the professional side and the other one is a bit more on her personal life, but I'll start with the professional one. Basically, that was the first person I coached, like with no workshop assistance, with no supervision. And in the beginning, it was quite challenging because she didn't know what coaching was, but she was really stuck. At that time, she was working full time, but she wanted to start a project by herself with one of her biggest passions. And she was stuck for like 2 years or something. Like she couldn't even really start doing anything because she had so much, not low self-esteem, but that perfectionism. Like she was always putting her standards on a 12 out of 10. And it was very difficult for her. And through a lot of sessions, a lot of talking, we started unlocking different things on her life, different issues from her past that actually were keeping her from moving forward. And we're not talking about traumas, we're just talking about understanding some of the behaviors that we have and how can we move past them, because it wasn't healthy for her to put that standard in such an unrealistic way. And after a few sessions, a lot of talking, a lot of crying, a lot of bonding, we we managed to get to a really healthy point where not just she started already the project and now she is up and running, but she has changed her point of view about her life. So her relationship with others, the way she faces life, she faces any issue, is very different from the person I met on my first session.
Tremendous. That is really, really wonderful. So you've really helped this person who was very locked down to really blossom. Yes. And to really come into her own. That is absolutely superb. And then you mentioned that you the other side of the story. So if you would share that as well, that would be lovely.
Yeah, of course. That's a separate person I coached during my case studies, and she was very stuck in a personal relationship. Basically, she was very stuck on her own ways. She was just stuck in general. Like, she didn't know where to go, what to do. Her friends were not the biggest support that she had, and we started working on her self-worth, on the way she was seeing herself and the way she was showing up, the way she was allowing people to treat her. And she ended up breaking up with her partner, which was the right choice because it was not a healthy relationship. She is now with someone who treats her like the queen she is. And yeah, it was very revealing because she changed also her friendships. She is now with people more nurturing. Maybe they're not that cool looking or not so trendy people or fun people, but they're people who is going to sit down and listen to her when she has an issue, and she's going to do the same with them.
Yes.
So she has done a 180-degree change in her life. And I spoke to her last week, actually, and I asked her, how you doing? She was like, I'm great. Like, I've never been better. It's like, oh my God, thank God.
Yes. How wonderful. That is absolutely superb. What a dramatic change. And how long did you work with this lady for in order to actually be able to help to facilitate all of that change?
We met in July last year, and 2021, during between lockdowns.
Yes.
And I think the biggest breakdown she had, like the biggest breakthrough, not breakdown, sorry, was in October, November. Yeah. So it was a few months, but of course, this is what I always tell my clients, is that life coaching and self-awareness is a marathon, it's not a sprint. You're not going to wake up one morning thinking, oh my God, my life is sorted, I know what to do. And that doesn't happen, because we always trying to get to know each other. We always try to get to know ourselves, take the lessons that come to us as well.
Yes.
And utilize them the better way. But yeah, it's a long process, but it's so worth it.
Absolutely. Well, you know, it's interesting. I mean, you say it's a long process, but if this is really just from last summer, actually, summer before last, really, wasn't it? Yeah, but so just over a year, really. I mean, actually, that's pretty remarkable. Really very exciting and amazing, and I think very life affirming for people to know that this tremendous change is possible and can happen, and actually I think can happen relatively quickly. So Pilar, how do people
need, because sometimes you talk about things that are not nice to talk in a coffee shop, for example. So sometimes it's better to do it online, so the person can be in a private place that they choose, and they can dedicate the time that they want without looking around. But I'm happy to do face-to-face as well. And I have actually I did a bit of a guinea pig with one of my case studies, with some touch points WhatsApp messages. Because nowadays everyone is so extremely busy that sometimes it's very difficult to get 1 hour of your day out.
Yes.
And we agreed that she could send me a 2-minute message if she needed. I would listen, and then I would reply the next day maximum with a reply specifically for her. It's kind of a podcast made for your ears only, basically.
Yes.
And it's not about me telling her what to do. It's not about me telling people how to behave, because that's not what coaching is.
Sure.
It's about me asking her questions and putting examples, or maybe suggesting an exercise to say,
their expectation in these sorts of coaching and life coaching and so on is that, you know, they're going to be told what to do and given the solutions. And that's not always helpful, is it? It's so much better if the person is guided to find their own way. I think that's really, have I understood that correctly?
It is absolutely 100% correct.
Right.
Some people, and my tutor used to say, some people is going to expect you to wave a magic wand and make their life just turn better.
Yes.
Or tell them what to do or have all the answers. We don't, because no one does except yourself. Yeah. You are the one who knows yourself the best. And the only thing I can do is guide you through a different thought, a different mindset. We're wired in a way where sometimes we just see the bad part, but we can change these mental wires for a better, more nurturing way to face life.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that makes complete sense. I really love that. I love that as a concept. And I just think that, you know, I think it must be magical to work with you, because the way that you come across is so gentle. You're obviously very present, and you're very nurturing. So I think anybody who has the opportunity of working with you would be very, very lucky indeed. So I guess that brings me on to the question is, how will people find you? I'm sure people watching this will be thinking, I really like this lady. I want to work with her. So Pilar, what is the best way for people to make contact with you?
So I have my website, and it's www.yourclaritycoaching.com. But I also have Instagram and LinkedIn.
Okay.
And anyone can find me. I mean, I'm on Instagram. Let me see. Just wait a second, because I changed the name recently on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah. And also, while you're looking for that, Pilar, I'll explain to the viewers that, and anybody listening to this, and that is that we have show notes. So we will put all your contact details in the comments underneath, in the actual show notes for this video, if anybody's watching it on YouTube, for example. So you'll have all of your contact details there. But for people listening in, what would be the best Instagram to contact you on?
It's clarity_coaching_ Pilar Sifas.
Brilliant. Okay, fantastic. So, yep. And as I say, also, you know, we'll have a link to your website. We'll have links to your socials as well. So people can just go underneath the video. There's a little drop down, sort of a little like a down arrow. Sometimes it says more ... depending on what, if you're looking at it on your phone or if you're looking at it on your computer, for example. So slightly different format for both. But either way, people will be able to literally click on it and get to you. So, that is absolutely amazing, Pilar. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's so exciting for me to meet you. And we're so proud of having you as a CMA member. You're doing such brilliant work out there and helping so many people. And it's so important right now with all of the stress and strain and struggle in the world. So, you know, you're doing beautiful work. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Pleasure. Thank you. See you soon. Talk soon.
Bye-bye. Bye.